Okay.
Well, Bakari, sounds like you've got the intro.
I sure do. All right, let's get to it. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle School Dropouts, a podcast about anime friendship and, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog. I am your host, Dr. Robotnik. I am joined here with E10 Stew Gamma. Stew, say hello.
Hello.
And our first,
Holy shit.
and our first and second guest appearance by Metal Jonic. John, how's it going?
That was pretty good. I was like really in such anticipation for what mine was gonna be.
Oh, that exceeded all of my thoughts. That was fucking good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Really liked it.
I was workshopping that for a long time. I couldn't figure out what my own name was going to be. Dr. Robotnik feels like a bit of a cop-out, but...
Really?
I like it.
Yeah, I really liked it too.
Oh, thank you.
I was sitting here like paranoid though that you were gonna have us introduce ourselves. I'm like, I'm not ready to make a Sonic pun.
I wouldn't just drop that on you.
Like Stewonic? Ugh.
I was proud of E10 Stew Gamma.
Are we just gonna go straight into the Sonic stuff? Like, what's going on in Sonic World?
Well, hold on. I don't want to break with tradition. How are you guys doing?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm literally just vibing.
Yeah, no, I think we're all surviving the apocalypse right now. So
Yeah.
So far so good. Nobody's died, other than all those people who died.
Well, yeah.
Oh no.
Y'all have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I made a prime rib. You guys
Ooh,
ever made prime
shit.
rib before?
Never.
Surprisingly not that hard and like incredibly yummy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was really scared and then it turned out fine.
Yeah, that seems like a complicated thing. I don't know, any meat that's not like hamburger, just sounds way too complicated for me.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Mine
was chill. Or you go for it, Bakari.
Oh, okay. Mine was pretty good. We made a well, really Tyler did, but like, you know, I assisted in making a Peking duck for Thanksgiving. That was fun. We had to inflate it with a bike pump. That was really weird. I've never done that before.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because like I guess that's how you gotta separate the skin from the meat itself or something like that. Otherwise it doesn't cook as good. So, and Tyler has like an air compressor that we would use for that, but he had lent it to somebody. So we grabbed my bike pump and he kind of held it shut and I pumped it and it made some gross noises.
God,
But it
I would
really
imagine
good.
it would.
Damn.
It was delicious. But,
Yeah, that sounds incredible. The process, like, I'm sure added value, you know?
No, totally. But yeah, all things considered, it was pretty good. Stu, how about you?
Yeah, mine was chill. I social distanced with some family that I haven't seen in like 9 months. And, you know, just the immediate family. But yeah, it was nice because my Thanksgivings that I go to are usually like kind of big affairs. So it's like it's nice to just hang out with the immediate family who I haven't sat down with in like, I don't know, 9 months. How long has this been going on?
Yeah, something like that.
Haven't seen my mom in forever, so it was good. It was wholesome. We didn't have to inflate anything, so it was fine.
You didn't inflate a carcass? Come on now.
Yeah. Well, hey, speaking of inflation,
Oh no.
I've got some Sonic news for you guys.
I don't like this segue, Stu.
Let's hear it.
I've seen too many things regarding those two subjects, Stu.
What?
Okay, so
Don't worry about it.
That's
anyway.
not quite it. I'm gonna post a picture which I'll add to the YouTube video, but it's in the there's a text chat movie.
No fucking way.
Yeah, man, I own it.
How much
I own
did that run
Sonic
you?
06.
Jesus.
I spent a little extra because I wanted one with a manual and also didn't have the weird like premium family edition or whatever it's called, or premium hits.
Right.
So it cost me like $22, I think.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So yeah, I'm excited to play it. I wanted to also invite you guys at some point. I'm going to stream it. So if you guys want to jump onto that whenever that is,
I'm absolutely
before
into
the
that
end of the
idea.
year. Yeah.
Okay, as someone who doesn't know, is this the one where he kisses the girl? Is that Sonic 06?
It is the one
Yeah.
where he kisses the girl,
Oh,
yeah.
God. Jeez. Okay.
I feel really familiar with this game because I feel like I've watched like playthroughs of it a number of times. Like I am obsessed with how weird this game is and how like the tension is like there's a long stretch between checkpoints. You're low on lives and oh no, Silver just clipped through the floor for no reason. There goes another one. So yeah, that's my Sonic news. It took me a lot to not like post that all over social media and whatnot.
God, beautiful.
Only piece of Sonic stuff that I think I own too. I don't think I have any toys or video games or anything.
Really?
Yeah, or physical media, I should say.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had the Steam sale recently, and I got like 3 or 4 different people hit me up to be like, Bakari, they're having a Sonic franchise sale on Steam, and I was like, do you think I don't own all of that already? Like no, I've already checked. There's nothing I don't already have and haven't had for years. Come on. Except Sonic Forces, but I have that on PS4, and also it's terrible.
Yeah, I did not hear good things about that one. But it also didn't seem so terrible that it was interesting either. Yeah, it's just well put together enough to not be like funny bad. It's just kind of bad.
Do you sometimes I find myself on YouTube and I go through like the Sonic like rabbit hole and like how to fix 3D Sonic. Do you ever do that?
I've seen a few of those, but like honestly, I don't know if I've finished one because every time they're like saying shit that's so stupid, I just have to turn it off.
Yeah, I get frustrated with people who are some of those like videos that are like, here's the solution that they could do. And I'm like, they must have not done that for a reason. Like obviously Sonic Team has some issues, but I don't know. I assume that they know a little bit. I don't know.
There's like a weird subset of Sonic fans, and I find there's a lot of overlap with those like, you know, how to fix Sonic like YouTube people that think that like Sonic used to be just Dragon Ball Z but like furry, and that in order to fix Sonic we need to bring it back to like we basically need to make Sonic back into Goku. It basically just boils down to like, I need to see Sonic kill somebody. He needs to end another rodent's life. Like that's what people want.
Wow.
Listen, Sega, we're adults now.
Really?
We can have curse words in our Sonic games.
Yeah, the ones that I see, it's like, I mean, the big one is like kind of having Sonic control like a car, which is kind of silly. But like with like trigger like acceleration type stuff, and like yeah, maybe like not focusing on speed all the time, which because like the games kind of turn like they're on rails when it's just like fast, always fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But make Sonic Goku. That would, wow.
He does.
Honestly,
like, the supersonic transformation does look like Super Saiyan. You know, he turns all like yellow and his eyes turn green and stuff. But that's about where the similarities end, I think. Besides, they can both fly. I'll give them that.
I don't know. I like this Goku idea, you know? I think there's something there. I think they should let him kill people, and I think they should let him cuss. And that's what I want out of my Sonic games.
Damn.
I need to revisit it to be sure. I think somebody... in Shadow the Hedgehog, they use the word damn pretty frequently, but I think somebody says, like one of those sort of intermediate cuss words, because like shit and fuck are like the big ones, I think, and then like, you know, other ones that I just don't feel like saying on this podcast. But then yeah, I think somebody says like bitch or something like
what,
a little something. I don't think it's actually bitch, but it's like somebody says something like, whoa, why are you making a cartoon rodent say that?
I love the idea of Shadow the Hedgehog calling somebody a bitch. That makes me endlessly happy.
I'm gonna make that mod for the Steam version of Sonic Adventure 2. Like just put bitch on the end of all Shadow's lines. I think you're the fake hedgehog around here, bitch.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
So you guys been doing anything fun lately? Playing anything? Watching anything?
I'm watching Fargo, the series. You guys
how is that? No, I haven't seen. That's related to Psycho, isn't it? Oh, wait. No, I'm thinking of Bates Motel. Never
it's
mind.
related to Fargo.
That's Bates Motel. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
It's incredible. I like only got around to it like this season, and I went back and I watched season 2 because each one like stands alone, and it's fucking phenomenal. Like just through and through, like good as hell. Like everything about it. Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I haven't checked it out. I don't even know what channel it's on, but
I'm watching it on Hulu. I think it was originally on like FX or something.
oh, it's on Hulu. Ooh.
Yeah, it rules. Like it's like top 5 instantly.
Shit. Yeah, I've got somebody's Hulu account. I can watch that.
There you go.
How many? Let me ask you guys. This is a slight change of topic here. How many accounts do you have that you pay for, and how dwarfed is that by the accounts that you're borrowing off of a friend or a family member?
It's massive. I pay for 0. I have everything.
Yeah.
And that is that.
I had a Crunchyroll account for a while, and then I realized my friend had one, so I just started using his. And yeah, I don't actually pay for any streaming services anymore. I guess I technically have Hulu through Spotify, but it's the shitty one where you still get ads. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've my girlfriend has the one with the ads, but the current like uBlock ad blocker blocks those ads, so it's sick. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do you still get the time though? Do you just get like 90 seconds of just black?
It doesn't do that either. I'm sure it'll happen soon enough, but I'm enjoying it while I can.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I get the 90 seconds of just black.
Yeah.
It works fine, whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's better than hearing like, because I've had Hulu with the commercials before, and the part that's really frustrating is that like it's the same commercial over and over. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can only watch so many L'Oreal commercials. Like in 3 hours you'll get like 80 of those just thrown right at you. Like, no, I'm good. I don't need shampoo right now. Stop.
Yeah, and when we're not using the block thing, I just get Progressive insurance. That's it. Like so many Progressive commercials, but like I don't even drive. I don't have a car. And like I feel like they know everything else about me, but they're like, yeah, this nigga drives.
Yeah. That's super. Yeah, that's the really weird thing is like they spend millions and millions, billions probably of dollars like learning all of our secrets so that they can better advertise to us, and then they give us like just weird shit for things that we couldn't use if we wanted to. Like when we were watching this was before the pandemic, but like when we would do this in person, Stu and I were watching one of the anime series we were going to talk about on Crunchyroll with the ads because neither of us had a premium subscription, and it was all anti-vaping ads, and it's like neither of us vape. We don't do that.
At the time, I worked for a place that actually made cannabis vape oil, so it's like that's the only thing I can figure. It's like, hey, don't vape. I'm like, I'm not, but I'm not helping either. So.
Putting that poison on the streets. Shame.
That's me. I was actually giving it directly to teenagers. Just like, hey, spread this around your high school, ruin your lungs. And they were like, yes, we love ruining ourselves.
You were that guy on the fucking Dare ads that were on like CBS's kids. It's like, you want to be cool, right? You want to smoke this, huh? That was you. Like no reason besides you just wanna ruin some promising young lives.
Yeah, they didn't even pay me there. I just did it out of the hatred of my heart, you know? Yeah, I feel like those ads do a really good job on like Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz, and then car companies must just have infinite money for ads because there's always new car commercials, and I haven't driven a car in 4 years. Like I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I do drive, and I never get anything related to cars. No car insurance, no anything like that.
Oh, well, there goes my theory. Damn.
I got like, God, what was it? I was on Instagram, and it was like a Wish ad, and it was for one Iraqi defense soldier. It had a picture of like a dude with like a rocket launcher and like full military garb, and it was $16.
Wait, hold on.
Person?
Yeah.
Wait. Like,
wait.
like, Like you're hiring a bodyguard or what is this?
Dude, I don't know, but it was $16 on Wish, like on God.
Fuck.
Like, I screenshotted it. Let me.
Wait, I think
bring
you
it up
might have
right now.
actually. I think you sent that to me on Twitter in response to my ad about burlap glasses.
Oh yeah. I remember those.
God damn, those burlap glasses, they were terrible. And they were, according to their website, they were sold out, which I find very hard to believe.
Really? And maybe they only made
Yeah.
like 10 because they just knew like we're not fucking selling these things. Maybe
Yeah,
they just
I
had a
think
burlap sack they needed to get rid of, and they just like found some cheap sunglasses. Like, let's make this work. Let's
We
get
got all
this
these
bread.
rims, but I got no glasses.
Alright, so I fucked up actually. It wasn't $16, it was $19.
Ah, well,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm looking
Well,
at
that's
it
a
right now and it
reasonable
says
price.
it says right here, a member of the Iraqi security force.
There's a descriptor. Jesus.
Yeah, he's got a rocket launcher, he's got a backpack with like at least 2 more rockets. Yeah, he's strapped up.
It's got the whole. Do you think the rockets like they probably have them in the picture, but I bet those cost extra. That's probably where they get most of their profit.
Yeah,
The living
that's
human
like-
being, yeah, that's 19. But you want the rockets? That's going to be 200 each.
Yeah, they get you with the free trial, you know. They sell you on the slavery and then and then like, hey, the rockets though. Come on.
Yeah.
You really thought you were gonna get rockets for that? No way.
In this economy.
It's just like it almost like for $20 it'd almost be worth ordering just to see what happens. You know, like what box is going to show up on your door.
You want to give someone in the Iraqi security force your address?
Oh, fair point. All right, fair point.
Yeah, you might want to get a PO box for that one.
He has a rocket launcher. He can hit you from so far away.
Yeah, but if he's in like a box or something, he'll be a little bit constrained. So you know, I might be able to get the upper hand there.
Yeah, I could probably
Yeah, I
take
guess
them.
so.
Oh shit, that's good. Anybody been playing any fun video games?
I just beat No More Heroes for the first time recently.
Yeah, I just
shit.
beat No More Heroes 2 for the first time.
Oh, really? Yeah, you got those on Switch too?
Yeah.
Those are that's a fun game series. I didn't like it that much on the Wii because I was stupid and also just don't really care for motion controls. But yeah, that game's really good.
Is it still motion controls on the Switch?
It's optional. You can like anything you
Oh.
can do with the motion controls, you can just do with the right stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes it a little bit easier. Like, I felt like I accidentally speedrun, like, No More Heroes 2. Like, I really wanted to savor it, but I was like, oh, oops.
Yeah.
I just, like, blasted through it hella fast, because it's, like, a lot easier when you don't have to use motion controls. But,
Yeah, you don't get yourself killed nearly as often.
Mm-mm. But yeah, I really, really loved it. It's, like, it's the most video game, but also, like, the most anti-video game.
Yeah, if that
Yeah.
that's one thing. Like, I don't really know. Like, I guess I'm not really like the super analytical type when it comes to that sort of stuff. But like, I feel like they're saying something by like making Travis such like a giant weeb loser, but also like this radical assassin guy. Like, I feel like there's probably a big like 200-page think piece on this, like why Suda51's the next like Hideo Kojima, and like No More Heroes is actually a big epic own on the gamers or something. But yeah, I don't know. It's a fun video game. I like cutting people up and making them the blood spray everywhere, and you do the little jack off motion to charge the sword. It's great. I like doing
Because you're like
suplexes.
working your way. You're like working your way through assassins, right? Like levels of assassins.
Yeah.
Okay.
He basically gets a job offer by this lady. She's like, hey, you want to get the number 2 headband, essentially, and that lets you challenge the number, well, I guess you get the number 11 and then 10, 9, 8, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, just a bunch of big over the top characters, cool sword fights. You can suplex people and collect Lucha Libre trading cards. It's neat.
Yeah. Did you play the second one?
I haven't played I bought it, but I haven't actually played it yet.
Oh, it rules. It's so fun. You have like, you can have 2 swords.
2 swords. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Changes
It's a proper
everything.
sequel.
Wait, fuck. I'm probably gonna start that up like after this.
Yeah, and like they cut like the driving around parts, which I guess also makes it go by a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
But
I
there's
forgot
like
about
side
this.
mini games, and they're all really fun. Like, you could just play the side mini games for like 20 hours and then be like, oh shit, I didn't do the game.
Are they similar to like the side jobs, like mowing the lawn or collecting coconuts or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
But just like a little more polished. They just like work a little bit better.
gotcha.
I'm really
Hell yeah.
stoked for the next one.
Yeah, I kind of want to try. They did like a little in between sequel between 2 and the upcoming 3, Travis Strikes Back, but I haven't really heard anything about it. Like, it came out and everybody was stoked, and then like nothing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone like actually played it. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
Wait, so 3 came out?
No, it's I guess it's the 3rd game in the series, but it's like a 2.5, I guess. They just call it Travis Strikes Back, but they announced No More Heroes 3 last year at some point. Time means nothing anymore, but you know.
Right.
Yeah, the second trailer for that is hilarious. It looks. Did you watch the trailers for No More Heroes 3?
I saw the first trailer. I don't think I've seen the second trailer.
What's the first one?
It was during the Nintendo Direct.
Is that the one where it's about like, you know, the kid and his like alien friend, like the E.T. little story?
No, it just pretty much, you know, there's a little monologue from Travis saying that he's back and stuff, and then it shows some gameplay footage.
Oh, so you don't. Okay, so apparently the game was essentially like an E.T. story, and it starts like it's this kid, his little alien friend comes, whatever. The alien leaves to do his like alien business, and he comes back as like a fucking like Galaxy Brain like Super Chad character.
What?
And like he comes to like, you know, enslave Earth or whatever. But like,
Oh, hell yeah.
dude, the trailer is hilarious. It's so funny.
Fuck.
It's all like heartfelt and like cute and shit, and then he comes back like a super dick.
Yeah. That sounds sick. I'm excited.
Yeah. No, that's a game series that has a lot of like style and can just kind of go wild with things, and it works. I never played through it, but I watched most of a playthrough of it, and it seems like just such a cool game.
It's great. It's a really fun time. It does get a little grindy towards like the last third of it, because it's like you need $3 bajillion to play the next level, and I'm like, but I have like $1 bajillion and I gotta get 2 more. Oh man. And then I just have to like collect coconuts for hours.
So yeah, that's another thing. They got rid of the paying to advance thing. So like you could just run right through it without doing anything else. Like no
hell
side
yeah.
things, no buying stuff.
Oh, that's got to be why it felt like a speed run. That sounds like it got rid of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Damn.
Got rid of the clutter. All gas, no
Yeah.
brakes.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
But yeah, what have you guys been playing?
I've been playing every Twitch streamer's favorite game, Phasmophobia, lately.
Oh, is it fun?
Phasmophobia?
It's fun. It's surprisingly fun. I picked it up with I talked my girlfriend into getting it. And she'd kind of seen some stuff. It looked pretty fun. And yeah, it's like you go through a house and you're a ghost hunter, like in those ghost hunter shows, except it's early access, so the character animations are fucking weird. And it's the only time I've ever been scared in like a co-op game. Like it's really pretty good. I'm
Really?
surprised. Because yeah, those ghosts will fuck you up. And they're terrifying.
Dang.
But it's cool. Like you have to, in order to like find the ghost, you have to be like, Helen Miller, show us a sign, or Helen Miller, give us a sign. And by saying their name, you're like invoking the ghost, and it calls them out. And so you have to like put yourself in danger to find this ghost.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. I love it. It's really fun.
I haven't even heard about this game. I gotta look this up.
Oh, it was. I mean, it came out like right around Halloween, so it was like it was all over like YouTube and stuff like every overreacting face cam possible.
Slid right into the Among Us slot, like something new
Yep.
for Twitch streamers to scream at.
That's still a hugely popular game too.
Yeah, I feel like it's still hugely popular, but like I guess I can go like I can scroll down my Twitter feed a few times without seeing stuff about it now, so that's kind of nice.
I mean, I guess it was popular enough that initially they were like gonna make a sequel, but they canceled the sequel to work
Really?
on the original. Yeah,
Oh,
because
shit.
it popped
Okay.
off. Because like it came out like 2 years ago and like didn't pop off until fairly recently.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I assumed it was like super recent. Wow.
No, yeah, it came out like I think mid 2018 or something. And then I don't know, some Twitch streamer started streaming it, and everybody was like, "Oh, that looks like fun," and here we are.
Well, because the other thing too is like it's free on the phone with like ads or whatever. I had no idea about that. So, yeah, on my girlfriend's birthday, like we all downloaded it and played it. I was like, "What? We're all able to do this? This is I love it. I see why it's gotten popular." There's this area on Twitch that I've fallen in love with called special events. And it's supposed to be used for, like, when Crunchyroll streams, you know, a marathon of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, like, if there's, like, a big game convention, you know, they stream it under special events. But there's loads of other random people who use it. And I swear, half of them are children with their phone set up, recording their TV, playing either Fortnite or Among Us.
Hey, that's a special event right there.
That's a special event right there. So... that's mostly where I've seen the Among Us gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really popular with kids.
Did you guys play any Spellbreak when that came out?
No, I've never heard of that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you played fucking Spellbreak. Come on, I know you did.
Yeah, I did for some... I got it confused with that wizard roguelike. But yeah, I totally played Spellbreak. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Spellbreak was really fun. And then... I just forgot to play it again.
Same. Yeah, I played it like a lot, like for 3 days, and then never touched it again.
Yeah, I think I played it for like 2 weeks and then just forgot. I don't know how. Like, I really enjoyed it, and like the fucking visceral feeling of like actually winning. You know, getting first place.
Is it like a battle royale game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the first one I ever played, and like. You're cool, like, wizard, and you can, like, fly around, and you have, like, hella shit. You, like, mix your little spells. And, yeah, it feels good, and I just completely forgot.
Yeah. I really liked the ice power, like, the long range, just, like, charge it up and headshot somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. The stone one is, like, obviously the easiest one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such an advantage in the in the beginning. The stone one is, like, so much better. So, like, it's hard not to start with stone.
The stone one, like, I tried that and I was like, oh, this can't be good because, like, there's so much air mobility in that game and it, like, kind of just goes along the ground, you know? Plus, like, the second I saw somebody, like, shoot an ice thingy and then skate along the trail that it made, like, their Frozone, like, I knew I had to go with that one.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
It rules. It's really fun. I don't know why I don't play it. It's a good-ass game. And it's
such
free.
A weird thing with, like, video games. Like, I feel like especially free video games. Like, I got really into, like, a few years ago, Fallout Shelter. And I was playing it every day for, like, a week. And then I skipped one day, and I never touched it again. I still haven't played it. And I was having a good time, you know? I don't understand what it is about just like, oh, I didn't do it. Well, goodbye forever.
Yeah, never again. It's like going to the gym or something. You gotta, like, do it for a year before you stop forgetting to just keep doing it. Or at least that's my experience.
Commitment.
I get, like, super antsy about, like, esports, like, free-to-play online games kind of things because I spent so much time with League of Legends. And it's like, I'm past that version of myself, and I don't want anything to, like, put me back in that headspace. Like, because legit for a while, I would be sitting there like, what am I going to do with my day? And I would be like, well, let's play, how about we play some Majora's Mask? You like that game? And I'm like, well, but I can't get any ranked points for playing that. And then I go play League of Legends instead. I fucking, like, looking back, I wish I could beat the shit out of that version of me.
Yeah, well, you got, like, that guilty sort of sensation about not playing a video game. Like, I'm not optimizing my time in this game that I'm playing. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that way with Overwatch for a little while. I had such a low rank, and I was determined to get out of it, and it was a fucking nightmare to do it, and I just kept doing it, and it sucked. I don't know why I kept doing it.
Overwatch is what broke the esports curse for me, because, like, it was fun for a couple months, and then, like, people just started getting so fucking mean. Like, I don't think I've ever been talked to like people talk to me on Overwatch. I was just like, I don't want to do this for video games anymore.
Dude,
that's pretty good coming from, like, League of Legends too.
No, yeah.
People are meaner. I used to love, like, MMOs and shit, and, like, now I sometimes play Phantasy Star Online too.
How is that?
It rules. It's so sick.
Really? I've been meaning to pick that up.
But I love playing it completely by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I will not talk to anyone, and I'll have a good ass time. It rules. And like, yeah, man.
That's
Massively
honestly the way to
multiplayer,
do it.
single player.
But yeah, it's fun. It's free. The one thing that like, I think what hit me is, I think I'm in like the mid 40s, like level wise,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's like, you know, a free to play game, there's 50 different like currencies and shit.
Oh Jesus!
Oh shit!
And I haven't found that I need to use any of them yet.
Really?
But I'm still like very curious, but I'm not curious enough to actually find out. So like at one point I was like, why am I collecting all this shit? What does it do? But I know because it's a free game, I need to collect everything I can. But it's never been important yet. So like, I don't know. The level cap's like up at 90 now. So like
shit.
maybe it's like an end game sort of thing. But
yeah, like you can buy better items. I mean, a lot of that stuff I see is for like quality of life stuff in those free to play games. So like bigger backpacks and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't sound like it's anything like that.
Maybe it's for like a player to player like marketplace kind of thing, like the WoW auction house or whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah, there is that too, but I haven't had to use it at all yet, which feels like a good thing to say about like a free to play game.
Definitely.
Right, you can probably play it for like a fair amount of time and like not have to figure out any of its systems, because that's its weakness, is it has hella menus, like way too many menus. Like, yeah, the like equipping menu is not the same as like the like God, it's fucking confusing. Like you can't go into your items and like take one of your equipables and equip it from your items menu. You have to go to equips.
Oh.
It's
What?
so
Okay.
yeah, it's so like Dragon Quest 3 type inventory. Like they definitely had figured it out by like the PlayStation era for Dragon Quest. So like I don't know why it's like this.
I think they figured that out in Phantasy Star Online 1. Like it's been a while since I played that, but I don't think it was like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I've seen English speakers try to play that game with like in Japanese, because I guess it like only recently came out in English,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 years late.
Yeah.
I've seen people try to play it in Japanese, and it's like all those menus start popping up, and so it's like, okay, I kind of know what this menu is. I kind of know what these ones do. These other ones I gotta kind of look up. Like there's even more like menuing to those menus, because you have to like translate a language, you know?
Yeah, that sounds like just awful. I mean, that's why I never did it. I saw the same thing. I was like, I'm never gonna figure that out. Why'd I press so many things to do anything? But it's really fun. It's kind of like, it's basically like easy Monster Hunter, but you still like feel cool.
Oh, sick.
And like my character is a braver, and he's like a katana, bow, squall style gun sword character.
Oh, shit.
And like
Ooh.
all the moves have like sick names. Like one of them is called, it's like unspeakable brutality or something.
Hell
And then
yeah.
another one is like blood weaver and like curse of the moon. Just like sick ass names for all of your special
Fuck,
attacks.
dude.
So like I feel incredible.
That sounds sick as hell.
I wish they just said
I love the idea of of like unspeakable brutality. Like you use that on a monster and it kills the monster and like everyone they've ever known and loved.
Yeah, or like you use the move and the screen just goes black because it can't show you.
Just censor blurs the whole thing.
Just like a squishy sound happens and the monster's dead.
You go back to the hub where you go to pick up quests, and they're like, "No, you can't come in here. You're a war criminal. We don't want anything to do with you. You used unspeakable brutality. It's called unspeakable brutality."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. And because the game came out so late, they're like, the content is coming in so fast.
Oh,
That,
there
like,
you go.
You're getting like 8 years worth of shit in like less than one.
Fuck.
So like,
Yeah, because I
that's
guess all the updates are like they're there. They just have to translate them.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice, honestly.
it's the only game where like so this thing called urgent quests, and they're like every random amount of time for like half an hour. And one of them, you start out in like this ice tundra plain or whatever, and you fight some T-Rexes, and then you also fight some forklifts and some
What?
steamrollers.
What?
so like
yes.
after you fight the T-Rexes and the forklift and the steamroller, like World War II era, like fuck, what are the big ships where the planes come off of them, like in the water?
Oh, like
aircraft carriers.
Yeah, so like a World War II style aircraft carrier shows up, and you're like, oh well, that's weird, and then it starts flying, and so you get in a mech, and you fly to fight the flying aircraft carrier.
What the fuck?
And there's a dude
yes.
with like, you know, with his like sailor outfit, but he's a wizard. He's like hurling spells and shit at you, and you're in the mech, and there's no game like Phantasy Star like at all.
I was about to say, this sounds like the fucking coolest game I've ever heard of. And then I look up the game and I'm like, is that like a child with roller skates kicking a frog? Like, what is happening?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and like the urgent quests are so fun. There's one where you fight a character that's like 30 stories, like it's huge.
Fuck.
And like
Whoa.
you're hitting like the jump pads and you're like doing flips and shit. And like it really kind of feels like Monster Hunter, like easy, and then like easy Devil May Cry. And it rules. You feel really sick. Like even from the start. Because you don't have to start fighting like rabbits and shit. Like 10 minutes into it, you're fighting like an enormous creature that can
shit.
like that can kill you in like 2 hits, and then you're like, oh shit, I just got here.
Hell yeah.
So it's fun.
That's the thing that bothers me about so many like online games. Even like I started playing Final Fantasy 14 the other day, and I've been just kicking the shit out of some squirrels, and it's a lot of fun. But I kind of want to fight. Actually, no, I just fought my first skeleton earlier today. That was cool.
Yeah, I played that for like 2 hours, and I was like, I don't want to fight these rabbits.
You get through it fast enough, but yeah, you do still got to fight some rabbits for a couple hours. But I think it's real pretty, and I like the soundtrack quite a bit, so I'm into that.
Oh, it is a good looking game.
Mhm.
I've never played it, but my roommate has it, and I've watched him play it a couple times, and I'm like, okay, I get why people like it. Like all these years later, it still looks really good.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Genshin Impact? That new like anime Breath of the Wild looking game?
Yeah, it looks dope.
Yeah.
It looks really cool, and it's free, but like I'm terrified of downloading it because I keep seeing all these people who are like, I've spent $13,000 trying to get this one anime girl character and I don't have her yet, and like my wife is gonna leave me or something. It's like it's terrifying. Like
You
I
think
don't
you
know
have
what
that
kind
in you?
of I mean, I don't have it in me to spend like really any meaningful amount of money on, JPEGs, but like even still, like
Is this
fuck,
darkness
what is
in
it
you
doing?
too?
I hope not, but I don't want to find out. It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely bought my fair share of loot boxes, so I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Never spent anywhere near that much money, but
I mean,
yeah.
everything I've seen, it seems like people play it for like a fair amount of time before they feel like they have to buy stuff. And like, if you can get 20 hours of fun for free, like that's great.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
And like, honestly, that might be about the time I like start to lose interest in it anyway. Like around 20-ish hours. Unless it's like truly incredible.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
My roommate was also playing that game, if you can believe that someone would play multiple MMOs.
Oh.
So he's been playing that, and he was telling me about it, and it sounds like if you play more than like 10, maybe 20 hours a week, then that's where you start to run into the, okay, here's where they want me to pay. If you're just playing it pretty casually, like, in your spare time, like that's what he's doing, then you're fine. Like,
Yeah.
he hasn't run into anything so far that he's been like, oh, I need to spend money. Ugh.
And I feel like if I like it, like, maybe I'll, since it's free, like throw them some money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
If
have a
I-
problem like throwing a few bucks to like the devs of a game I enjoy. Like that's how I saw like buying stuff in League of Legends. Like I'd buy a skin or something every now and again. I probably spent like over like 7 years of playing, I might have spent like $150 on that game, which I think was fine. But
Yeah.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
League, dude. That's what.
You don't understand. They had some cool. They had like my favorite character. They made him look like a lifeguard, and they changed his sword out for like one of those little lifeguard buoys. It was neat. He had sunglasses. He was a surfing gator. It was great.
I've definitely done that with Overwatch. There's been a number of skins that I've wanted to unlock, and where I think it's devious is like, I think I've spent maybe like 50 on top of buying that game. I forgot that it costs fucking money.
Yeah.
I think I've spent like $50 on loot boxes, and it wasn't worth it because I ended up unlocking the skin later, so it was like a kick in the dick, and like I just hate that, like with the loot box stuff in those games, it's like you can't just get what you want. Like you have to play this gamble game. So it's like, so how much is this skin gonna cost me? Like, is it gonna cost me $50? Is it gonna cost me $200? Like you're just rolling the dice, you know?
Yeah, I've seen that described as a manufactured discontent. Like part of the machine is that like you spend money to get something and you don't get it, and you're pissed, but you've also like, you know, sunk cost fallacy, like you've put something into it, so you got to put more into it to get the thing you want, and then you're $13,000 in debt, and your wife is going to leave you, and you don't have that cool anime girl with the witch hat, you know.
Well, I guess it's a big problem in Europe, too, with like FIFA being super popular over there. There are really powerful players that you can only get through like their loot box system. And so like kids, adults, everybody will just spend a shit ton of money trying to unlock this guy that has like a 0.001% chance of unlocking.
Wait, there's loot boxes in FIFA now?
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, there have been for the last few years.
I think the last one I played was like FIFA 10.
Imagine if like NBA 2K had a loot box for Steph Curry. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Bay Area homelessness would explode.
Yeah, it would put people on the street. Like, dead serious. Fuck.
Well, I want to say 2K has similar stuff to that. I know they have an in-game currency, but I don't know if they have loot boxes yet, but I'm sure they're not far off.
Yeah, it can't be for characters though. Like, I would lose it. Everyone would, no way. Not 2K.
Yeah, right?
We got to cut this out of the podcast. Like, what if somebody who works at EA like hears us say that and then they do it? We just like destroyed the Bay Area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, and all we did was make sports games worse. Like, fuck. Like, loot boxes would not improve those games at all.
No.
Like, there's nothing about that that's like, oh, I like this game, but I kind of wish there was random chance involved for who's on my team.
You gotta go to war with the army you got, and sometimes that's not Steph Curry.
Damn. Why's it gotta be like
deep.
that?
It's fucked
It
up.
also reminds me when Final Fantasy 15 came out, and like a bunch of people are trying to say that was like the best RPG of the year. And I was like, nah, the best RPG of the year is NBA 2K16. Because it is. It's better than Final Fantasy 15.
Wait, no, you're gonna have to walk me through this one.
Have you ever played like a 2K like career mode or like little story mode?
Never. I've played it at friends' houses, but like, you know, only the, you know, exhibition matches or whatever. Wait, there's a story mode?
Yeah, you start out as you make your little character, and like you play some games in college. You like try to get drafted in a good spot. You spend your little stat points. You get experience. There's a whole story that's like really good.
There's cutscenes too, right?
Yeah, there's cutscenes. What's his fucking name? God damn.
LeBron
What
James.
is his name? No. It's a director.
Oh.
Fuck. I don't know. A director. It's
Hitchcock.
not Spike Jonze.
Spike Lee?
I don't know. Anyway, it's good. It rules. It has such in-depth mechanics. Like, yeah.
I've seen there's like a cutscene. I can't remember which one it's from, but there's a cutscene where like your character walks into this room with like a famous coach who I don't know who he is, but so there's dialogue for your character, but they didn't record anything with that coach, so it's just text boxes of them whenever that coach talks. So your character will be in a room and he'll be like, "I don't know, coach. I just don't think I can perform the way that you need me to." And then the coach just stares at you, and then you respond to what he says. So it's like, "I don't know, coach. I just can't do that." He just stares at you, and then you're like, "Oh, okay. I see your point."
Okay, so beyond that though,
Their bond
the emotions you
evolved,
feel, the emotions you feel on draft day are so strong that it matches any RPG ever. Or like if you get traded. Yeah. Anyway, should we talk about the anime? We're like almost an hour. I think we're like almost an hour into this.
I got 46 minutes almost.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at. Yeah. Well, this is a good halfway point. So we watched 6 episodes of Dr. Stone, and now we're gonna talk about them.
Hell yeah!
We tricked you, audience member. This is not a Sonic podcast. We're actually an anime podcast. Fuck.
Next time.
Bait and switch. So yeah, I guess general thoughts. What did you guys think of Dr. Stone?
Well, did you guys keep going? Have you finished it ever? Or did you guys only watch the 6?
No, but I'm keen on continuing. I'm curious how they like wrap this story up in 24 episodes. Unless it's supposed to keep going, I don't know.
It keeps going. I watched this actually like in the very beginning of like COVID times.
Huh.
And yeah, it's incredible. I like really, I love it.
Yeah, because I watched the first 6 episodes today, and I'd seen episode 1 before, and I remember seeing episode 1 and being like, I'm not that big on it, but I've heard from a few people that it was good, so I was excited to do this episode. But I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on it, because I kind of have some mixed feelings about it, at least in these first 6 episodes.
I think it's pretty good. I guess if there's any inaccuracies with the science stuff, I'm too fucking dumb to know what they are. So like anytime how am I forgetting his name? Fucking
Senku.
Senku, thank you. Anytime Senku like says something sciencey, I'm like, hell yeah. Oh, sick. I love science. That's great. And then, you know.
Dude, I think that's totally the thing. It's like I feel like it's one of the first like feel good animes that I've watched that also still isn't just like totally like slice of life and like easy going.
Yeah.
Like you still have a plot that like pushes you forward, but like you feel good like anytime like a science thing happens. Like the characters are like generally like pretty likable, and you feel smart. It's really engaging for that reason.
Yeah. It's interesting to watch a show where like the main character is powerful, but he's powerful in a way that you don't usually see in anime, right? Like he has a very obvious weakness, which is like, you know, his body. Like he's not as physically strong as other people, but he's incredibly smart, and I think they do a good job with that. Again, I don't actually. I'll take it a step further, Bakari. I don't actually care if the science is wrong. I'm still into it, you know.
No, yeah, fair. Like if somebody were to say like, that's not how you make gunpowder, actually, like that wouldn't change anything for me. I'd still think that's cool, you know. Yeah.
Well, doesn't it have a disclaimer that it's like scientifically accurate?
No, he does actually say like, yeah, this is actually how you do it, so you know, don't try this at home. But anything else like the nitric whatever the fuck they use to like resurrect people, like if that wasn't real either, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah. You know, all the stone trials that happen.
Yeah.
Well, the funny part for me though is that like there's so many characters who like do something like nitric acid. I'm like, who the fuck can just recognize nitric acid?
I've like heard of nitric acid. I wouldn't know it if I saw it, but this show and the show Log Horizon occupy this weird little niche genre of like, oops, I gotta rebuild civilization. And they both have like a kind of similar tone. It's just like, oh, well, shit got fucked up, but I'm smart, so let's rebuild things. And it's like, it's actiony, but also like just fun and kind of wholesome and feel good. Yeah. I enjoy that a lot.
I never heard Log Horizon is what it's called.
Log Horizon, yeah. It's what happens is basically a shit ton of people, maybe everybody gets stuck in a video game world, like Sword Art Online kind of thing. But like
Sword Art Online,
not I guess like dot hack. Let's say like dot hack.
Ooh, dot hack.
There you go. But like instead of like having to climb the tower and beat the god or whatever, the main character is just like, oh well, fuck. I guess if we're stuck here, we should make things more livable. So like he learns how to like, you know, so one big issue at the beginning is like food doesn't taste like anything, like when you craft it using the crafting systems. But then he finds out that like if you actually like, you know, kill the animal, harvest the meat, cook it like the way you would in the real world, it does actually taste like things. So they start like a restaurant empire, and that's just like where it goes for a while. Like just stuff
I'm
like
into that.
It's interesting. At one point, they have to deal with the economy because like gold keeps getting generated by destroying monsters and stuff, but there's not enough people to buy things. So it's like, well, now money means nothing. Is this a problem? I guess not. And then
That's pretty good because
Wow.
that's actually like a problem in MMOs too,
Yeah.
where like
Yeah,
they have to
Neopets.
deal with that.
yeah, Neopets, Guy Online, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big MMOs, yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I guess let's get into it then. We can do a little episode by episode breakdown. So, episode 1 involves a little bit of you see the world before whatever this. I don't know if there's a name for what happens, so I'm going to call it the stonening because that works.
I'm into it.
Before everybody gets stoned in the stonening, and they wake up 3,700 years later, or a couple of them wake up. We've got our protagonist Senku and his brawny oaf friend Taiju.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got his name right. And they're just finding a way to survive and finding how to get by. And yeah, what did you guys think of episode 1?
I like when the stonening is happening and they show it across the different countries. When it cuts to Italy, all you hear is somebody yelling Mario, Mario over and over.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm sure it's like someone calling for their husband or something, but I'm like, yeah, sure, that's an Italian word, I think. And they go on to mention Mario in the second episode. I think it was intentional.
Oh, okay. I was assuming somebody was playing like Nintendo or something, and they were like turning into stone. They're like, I'm losing control of Mario! Mario!
Yeah, I think the first episode, if that's the only one that you like ever saw, I could like really understand why you like might not want to continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even rewatching it, I was kind of, and knowing that it gets better, I was kind of like, Senku grew on me as the show went on, but I did not like Senku after this first episode. Like, this fucking tryhard, like, shut up.
Yeah, I didn't rewatch it, but I do remember just like a lot of yelling. Like the buff guy, his best friends. What's his name?
Taiju.
Taiji. Yeah, he be screaming,
He sure
just
does.
yelling and yelling and yelling.
I found it endearing after a while because, like, I think Senku and Taiju are both like kind of stupid, but like in their own ways. Like Senku obviously knows a lot about like science and stuff, but like in other ways he's still like very silly. So I kind of like that they're both just, a couple of dummies trying to rebuild society. I think that's neat.
Yeah. And they drive that idea fucking home in these like first few episodes. Like, I'm the brains, you're the brawn, and then like 2 minutes later, okay, I'm the brains, you're the brawn, and then a couple minutes later, like everybody is just establishing their roles like very like out loud. Like they say it so many times.
I got a question. Yuzuriha, the lady what Taiju loves. Are those headphones on her head? Are those headphones?
Yeah, I have no idea. Well, see, so so I got a lot of thoughts on these headphones because they're bugging the shit out of me. So I don't think they're headphones because they don't go down to her ears.
Yeah.
And there's a shot in like episode 4 or 5 where they go to like the big Buddha, like they find the Buddha out in the wilderness, and you see her, and she's like, "Oh, I remember seeing this as a kid." And you see her as a kid, and she's got those fucking cinnamon roll Uzumaki headphones fucking on her head, and I'm like, so she's just I think it's a part of her body. I think she has some kind of growth. Like, why would she have that her entire life?
It's just like it's an extension of the headphones character, I guess. It's like they're just like permanently a part of her now.
Her skull came out weird or something. Maybe
they don't seem to actually extend to her ears. Like there's no like the part where you like tug on them and the headphones get longer. Like it doesn't look like it has that.
Yeah. They are a part of her.
Yeah.
Like,
what's she listening to? And how do they survive 3,700 years? All the buildings in the world have like crumbled away, but those things are just fine.
And that's the other thing is that when she turns into stone, those turn into stone as well, but the clothing doesn't. Your items don't. Everything else goes away. You go naked, except for the parts that are on your body. And she still got that thing on her head.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to be all CinemaSins about it. Like, what? Well, this is an inaccuracy, but like, is there a purpose to it, or did we just think she looks cool with headphones? Because if so, fine. But like, I just wish somebody would like explain it. Like, maybe Taiju goes like, "Hey, what's with the headphones?" And she goes like, "I don't know. I just like them." All right, fine.
I mean, yeah, because it is a fine character thing, and like, I mean, and look at Senku too. Like, his hair is constantly like a radish or whatever. Like, it's always in that anime style. Like, yeah, obviously there's a lot of liberties taken, but there's something just off-putting about them. Like, what are they? Like, I can't read Uzumaki and then see these spiral headphones and be okay with it.
She's got spirals on her like neck and shoulder and stuff. Maybe she is like,
oh shit, yeah,
the unraveling of that timeline or something. I don't know, but yeah,
that is a good point. Yeah, because every character has lines on them from when they come out of the stone, and yeah, hers are spirals. I forgot about that, or I didn't realize it. Yeah,
I'm a big. Oh, you got
none of this really affects me very much, so I haven't really said a lot about it. They're just there. They're just doing their thing. They're just vibing.
Yeah. I don't know. I got really hung up on that for some reason. Also, yeah. I'm a big fan of the name, like, the strongest primate high schooler. Like, it made me really realize how much, like, I wasted my teenage years. I didn't even know that was a thing you could be.
Yeah. Well, man, and when they said it, I was like, they didn't just call him the strongest primate high schooler. Like, what does that mean? I love it, but I got so confused about it that, like, I typed it in, and then after I finished the 6 episodes, I'm like, I gotta double check. I misread that, right?
He's just a Tarzan ass motherfucker. That's just what he does.
Isn't that episode 2?
That is episode 2 that he shows up. Well, they talk about him a bit.
He shows up in episode 2, but what's his name walks past his statue self in episode 1. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy. That's the strongest primate high schooler." Anyway, moving on.
As opposed to the regular strongest high schooler.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. But yeah, there's in this episode there were a few things that I was just kind of like, especially with Senku, I was like not feeling it. Especially like he's got the E equals MC squared on his shirt, and they explain it later. But at the time, I'm like, oh, good thing you've got that always useful formula on your shirt there, buddy. Like, we get it. You're smart. Like, but I will say he did grow on me. I do like Senku a lot.
I like Senku quite a bit
after seeing the other episodes. So.
Yeah, especially if you continue, he doesn't get like quite the same level of like absolute adoration that like Mob does in like Mob Psycho 100. But like by the end of the season, you're like, wow, incredibly wholesome, great kid. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of, well, at least a couple very good boys in this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I really like. I mean, I feel like it's almost done like after the fact in the way that you see their friendship beforehand, like with the flashbacks and things. But it does, like, I do feel like those the three, Taiju, Senku, and I can't remember the girl's name, but I feel like I like all those characters, and I feel like they're friends, and yeah, I do want them to all be happy. I don't know.
I guess we'll get into this later, but like in my head, I know that he's like a very bad dude, but also Shishio just feels like kind of a good boy to me. He just seems, real nice, other than the whole wanting to kill a lot of people thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, should we talk about the next episode then?
Yeah,
let's talk about the next episode, because I do want to talk about him a bit. Because that's the episode where in episode 1, they figure out how they get the revival juice or revival water.
Mm-hmm.
They figure out how to make that, and they figure out how to put it on things and get people out of the stone. So as long as they're all in one piece, they can revive people. So Senku's plan is, I'm going to revive everybody. They get cornered, and they end up uncovering the strongest primate high schooler,
mm-hmm.
Who then proceeds to punch the shit out of a lion.
He punches the lion to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a single hit. He like punches it, it flies into a tree, dead.
And it's just done.
Yeah. The other lions are like, all right, well, I guess we'll just get out of here then.
I mean, I wouldn't want to fuck with a guy who just punched a lion to death.
No, yeah. And and I love it because he's like, oh, okay, so you're the brawn, you're the brains, and I'm the hunter. Like, and then you just see him on like this montage of beating the shit out of nature.
Yeah, it's so cool. He just snatches that bird out of the sky. That was I got out of my seat at that part. I was so hyped. I love that.
Yeah, I think he's a really interesting character, and I like that they make this division between him and Senku. Like, everything seems like it's going to be friendly. Like, I was even surprised. I was like, oh, I thought there was going to be more conflict here. And then at the end of the episode, he starts talking about, like, hey, no, we can't revive everybody. Like, old people are going to, make things go back to the old ways, and those ways suck.
Yeah. And, like, I admire the whole, like, he's against capitalism. Like, that's neat. But interesting way of going about it, I suppose.
Yeah,
Just wanted to see him snatch more animals.
It's very high schooly. It really sets the like tone for like who the characters are, which I think is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was interesting as someone who also is like very anti-capitalist to like
you're in the right podcast.
Kind of like agree, but then also like no, not really, because it comes out kind of arbitrary. Like the reasoning is like super childish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, it's a good one. It's kind of like the main thing in like Gundam 00. Did you guys ever watch that?
No. I'm getting to it, but
oh, are you doing all of them still?
Yeah, I'm still like slowly chipping away at it. I'm like almost done with Zeta Gundam.
Wow. So you haven't watched Turn A Gundam yet, right?
No, I haven't watched Turn A yet.
Turn A rules. But anyway, 00 is essentially like there's all the Gundams are part of this thing called Celestial Being, and like at least when they show up, their whole thing is if we destroy every military, if we kill everybody in any military in the whole world, war will end. And like, yeah, that's kind of like a similar idea, just by destroying all military with military, then war will never happen again.
Yeah, wait, do they just seppuku afterwards? Like, it's like, well, we're also military, but...
Yeah, that's the thing. That becomes a big problem later on. They're like, well, what about us?
But yeah, that's what I like about... Okay, let me get his name, because we're going to talk about him. Like
Tsukasa.
Tsukasa, yeah. That's what I like, is like, yeah, he has some, like, he's a good antagonist because he has some ideas that I can agree with. I don't agree with his methods, so but I can see why he would think the things he does. He's not like, oh, I believe that only the strong should survive. Like, he could have absolutely been that character. Like, I'm the primate high schooler. Strength's the only thing that matters. I'm going to go just be strong and rule over everyone. And it's like, no, I have ideas. I have a vision of the world that I want to see, and it's based on, some fairly soundish principles, so.
Yeah, it's oddly empathetic.
Yeah. Like, totally get where he's coming from, but like the idea of like, it's all adults are the root of capitalism. Let's kill all of them. And like one thing I noticed is like, okay, this guy might be like 16 or something, but he looks like a grown ass man. Like, I think if he looked at a statue of himself, obviously didn't recognize it as himself, he'd probably be like, oh, that's an adult. I got to smash that one. He's big as fuck. He's like six something and real buff, and he's got a real chiseled face, a real deep voice.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's got real anime syndrome going, where it's like, yeah, I've been through hell. I'm the strongest guy. I've done all these things. Yeah, I'm 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like his way of speech is like painfully logical and like really like well put together, and like he's got it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
was really surprising to see him actually be like I was expecting like, okay, he's going to be super strong and that's going to be like the counter to Senku. And it's really like, no, they just have different ideas for what they want to see in the future. Mm-hmm. They're both really fucking smart. Senku's smarter, but this other guy, I mean, he fucking is like, oh, nitric acid. Like, again, who the fuck can recognize nitric acid? But apparently the strongest primate high schooler can.
Yeah. He's very bright. Like, he might not be like as educated in like science stuff, but like, yeah, he's a really good not only foil for Senku, but just like a an interesting antagonist in general. Like really strong for showing for like the first arc, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, I think episodes 2 is great because it sets up that conflict, and you kind of see it continue in episode 3. And I like now there's actually like there's more than just a struggle to survive. Now there's like, what do we want out of the future and things like that. Yeah, and I really like how the show is paced. Like, I feel like things are at this point, I'm sucked in because things are happening at such a frequent rate that I'm like, yes, I'm on board. Let's keep going.
Yeah, and each episode kind of has like a new invention that's like fun to hear about. And like, yeah, I think at this point we're starting to realize that like information between them is going to be like a tense issue, like who's going to share what, because everyone has like different values. And I think that's like significant too. There's always so much going on. Yeah, it's
especially interesting with like Senku kind of rightly realizing like, okay, yeah, I can't trust Tsukasa, so I've really got to like play this kind of cagey. And then you've got Taiju just like he doesn't care. That's not what he's there for.
Yeah, no clue what's going on like between the two most of the time. Just just happy to be here. As a credit to the show's pacing, I was like looking back at my notes now. I'm like, damn, they started heading west in episode 3. Like, so much stuff happened in the first 2 episodes that I thought it was like way more than 2 episodes. You know what I mean? Like, they managed to fit in a whole bunch of info in not a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
Without making it feel like overwhelming.
Like, especially for the first 4 episodes, I couldn't believe how quickly like I felt like I got through them. Like stuff like fucking Eat Man is a chore where every moment you're watching it, like you're painfully aware of what time it is.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my god, like I have to watch another one. I'm only on episode 4, and like these first 4 episodes, I feel like I really blazed through them. Like this is good.
I didn't even dislike Tower of God, but like this felt like it was like half the runtime. Like I finished episode 6, I was like, oh fuck, I'm done already. So I'm into it.
What else happens in this one?
Yeah.
So they bring out. Okay, let me get her name.
Yuzuriha.
Yuzuriha. Oh, okay.
I think that's the next one. I think that's 3, right?
We're on 3.
Yeah, in 3. Yeah.
Oh, we're
episode
talking about
3.
3 now?
They bring her out.
Oh, are we
yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to 3.
We're talking about 3.
Transition.
Talking about 3. Yeah. So they bring out. So, Taiju has like, he like right before he was about to confess to this girl, they all get affected by the stoning, and that's how he like stayed awake, right? Is that he was like, I have to tell her, I gotta tell her that I want to date her, like, and he did that for 3,700 years. That's so good. But yeah, they finally bring her out, and she just immediately is wrapped up in the conflict between Senku and his friends and Tsukasa. So
she's also like really quick on the uptake as well. Like when Tsukasa shows up, like before he's even out of the stone, he's just like, all right, whose ass I gotta beat, and then Senku's like, that one, and then he just does it. Like
yep.
But Yuzuriha, she also just kind of like comes out and she's like, oh, shit's going down. Okay, all right, I'm into it, and then
yeah. She's just on board immediately.
Yeah.
Which I think is great especially from like a storytelling perspective, because it's like the action doesn't slow down because they brought her. Like there's no like, okay, we got to bring you up to speed and then we can continue. It's like everything just keeps moving.
Yeah, because like I'm trying to remember, because Senku didn't want to reveal the liquid that like brings people, unpetrifies them, like breaks the stone. And doesn't Taiji just like show up with it and then just do it like right in front of him? And he's like, hey, what the fuck is that? You gotta tell me about that shit.
I think it's at the beginning of this episode. Yeah, he's like, Senku's like, I can't tell him about the cave with the nitric acid, or I can't tell him about the revival water. And then Taiju shows up like, hey, I got the revival water. And there's this like wonderful animation of like his face just like completely like contorted in anger.
Yeah, the gags in this, like the visual gags that they pull, are very fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's what was kind of winning me over with Senku, is that he's not just this totally pompous dick like he is in the first episode. It's like bad things happen to him, and he reacts to them like a human would, you know?
Yeah, he's not like a Light Yagami type character.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was expecting. Like when he had fucking like E equals MC squared on his shirt, and he's always talking about like, oh, you didn't see that the gasoline molecules are missing a couple of carbons or whatever. I'm like, oh, I can't fucking stand this guy. Like all he's gonna do is talk about science and be an asshole. And no, he's great.
Yeah.
He's very human.
What else happens in episode 3? Is that
Is this where Senku pulls out the crossbow?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was dope.
That was sick.
And he just catches it and throws it in the... I love everything that Tsukasa does. I just want to watch him, honestly.
Yeah, no, I'd watch that show, absolutely. The strongest primate high schooler just fucking shit up in nature, absolutely.
Just like show him pre-stoning where he's just like a Baki the Grappler type character and he's just beating the fuck out of other high schoolers. Like, let me see that.
Well, and that's what, like, when he talks about his backstory in, like, episode 4 or 5, that seemed to be, like, what he was doing. Like, there's a shot where it shows him, and he's got admirers, and it looks like, to me, it looked like he was walking into, like, a boxing ring.
Oh, yeah, there's a ring in the background, yeah.
Yeah. So...
He also mentioned something about the martial arts community in episode 6, I think?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he also in God of High School?
Probably.
That'd
He
be
is
sick.
the god of high school.
But honestly, they could like do like a whole second series that shows like what Tsukasa's up to, and I think would be tight. Or like just like a short one, you know, like a nice little 6 or 12 episoder, you know?
Yeah, a little OVA. Like just just make a movie. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, because he's an interesting character in this universe, because it's like, obviously, like, Senku is doing things, like, he's building rope and shit in, like, a speed that's, like, way faster than you build rope. But you can kind of, like, you can rationalize it as, well, maybe it took him a few days or something like that. And, like, Tsukasa is just fucking, yeah, I can catch an arrow out of the air. I can fucking just, like, punch a lion and, like, kick a boar and just kill him. Like, I don't understand why he's super strong, but it makes for a good antagonist for the show.
Because he's the strongest primate high schooler. That's why he's so strong.
Oh.
His
We
like
should,
great
like-
grandfather's an orangutan or something.
In editing, can you add like a little like ding effect every time someone says strongest primate high schooler?
Absolutely. I'll put a counter on the screen. Yeah.
There you go.
Because like I'm expecting like pretty high numbers.
I think so.
Oh, absolutely.
We might have broken 10 already.
I just hope we're saying it right. Like, it is strongest primate high schooler. Like, I don't want to, find out, like, oh, God, it was something different.
I
You
wrote
said it
down,
so many
like, right
times that
after.
I'm like absolutely like, yeah, it has to be.
It must be. There's also like in episode 5, like I know I'm getting ahead a little bit, but like while we're talking about shows about what's his name that we would watch, like he talks about like in an alternate universe we would have been friends, and then like they show like little alternate universe flashbacks where he's like, one of the group and they all like do science stuff together, and I absolutely want to watch that whole show. That sounds fantastic. It's like scientist, his buddies, and then just an insane punch guy.
Yeah, well, I think that's what makes Tsukasa like such a good antagonist for this show, is that he's very sympathetic. Like, he's not an absolute monster.
Mm-hmm.
And that recap for episode 5 is particularly good, because I felt like all the other recaps were just kind of like, here's what happened in the beginning of the episode. Like, we're doing recaps already, like we're only a few episodes in. Here's what happened, and then they kind of would continue from that point. So it kind of worked. I liked episode 5 because it was like, here's this recap, and it's the same way that we ended the last episode, but we've added this other element, this fantasy element where Tsukasa would have been friends with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, that's so good. That's such a good use of a recap.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking smart. This show does a lot of smart stuff.
Yeah.
And then so like they get in the fight with Tsukasa. The crossbow happens, and he kicks Taiju's ass. And then they leave to make gunpowder, right? Is that what happens?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like the end of this episode, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I think, it ends with them, like, taking off And then I think he explains the actual. Oh, episode 4 is when they do the little kitchen thingy.
Oh yeah. And they explain gunpowder. Yeah.
Yeah. See, again, so much happened in episode 3. Like they actually they have that whole thing. They leave. They do their little travel scene. They get to the place where they're going, and then the start of episode 4 is like how to make gunpowder.
Yeah, and I think it's just watching them collect stuff and then wondering what it's gonna be is like really fun.
Yeah.
Because they're on the beach and he's collecting like shells for like calcium or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like Tsukasa's like, what you gonna do with those? And he's like, oh wait, we forgot the whole part where they fucking make soap out of the stone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the stone soap he calls it Dr. Stone. We forgot to even talk about that.
Wait,
has that happened yet?
No, he says Dr. Stone in reference to the stone stuff that they were encased in. Because it like heals people.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Just kidding.
They make the soap out of the clamshells or whatever, lime or something, whatever they use.
Yeah. You're right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, which is a good touch. You would need soap in an environment like that if you weren't going to get sick or something. So
Totally.
I like it.
But yeah, wasn't grinding up the shells like part of the gunpowder thing? And like Senku was like, I can't tell Tsukasa about this.
Yeah.
There's only this many uses, but
Yeah.
there's really an additional one.
Yeah, because he's like, he says there's 4 great things to use this for, and then he like names the first 3, and then Taiju says like, well, what about the 4th one? He's like, there is no 4th one. What are you talking about? And then we just like forget.
Yeah, because he wants a gun. He wants a gun so bad. And I love that, like, Tsukasa is on the same page, where it's like, he eventually realizes that they're going to build gunpowder. And so he's like, if he gets a gun, like, I'm done for. Like, we're on equal footing. I'm a guy who can kick a lion to death, but what am I going to do about a man with a gun?
What a great, like, technology progression, too. It's like we got basic tools and rope and soap and, we learned how to make fire. Okay, we're making guns now.
Yeah, exactly. We got the stick.
Yeah, well, he brings it up in the show. It's like, I'm about to bring civilization up, like, 1,999,000, whatever years.
I learned how to cook fish. Now we got to make blickies.
But yeah, so episode 4 is where they build the gunpowder. There's like hot springs in the area because he needs sulfur for the gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
So I really liked episode 4 because one of my pet peeves in like shows and anime is like the will they won't they kind of relationship where it's like, I expected like Taiju to be like, oh, I need to confess to her, but I can't. Ooh, I'm too cowardly or whatever, and there's always that tension. And that's what I expected the show to do. And what he did where he was like sitting in the hot springs with her, like they're walled off from each other. And they're just like, hey, so there was a thing I was going to tell you, but since there's no, like, you can't escape from this, like, I don't want to put this on you. So I'll tell you, like, after civilization gets restored, then I'll tell you what I was going to say. For now, like, don't worry about it. And I thought that was, like, really good, like, good thinking.
Yeah.
Surprisingly woke, like, informed consent. Incredible.
Yeah. Well, and realizing that he has an amount of power over her in that situation, and he doesn't want to abuse it, he wants her to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Like, not only does it, like, make it so we don't really have to, do that plot-wise, but, like, yeah, it's a nice thing to see, like, somebody recognizing the unbalanced power dynamics in, their relationship and being like, well, okay, now's not the time for that, but later let's talk about it. Like, yeah. What a good guy.
Yeah.
I love Taiju.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, I didn't even really think about it, but good fucking call, Taiju.
Mm-hmm.
He might be all brawn, but it's woke brawn. I'm into it.
Yeah, it really makes up for all the yelling that he's always doing.
This also, in episode 4, Tsukasa says the line, "You would never lie to science." And that doesn't make any fucking sense, but I'm very into it.
Right. I loved that he was like science was like a religion to him because that's at the part where Tsukasa's come to kill Senku, basically. And I really like that scene because it's clear that Tsukasa doesn't want to kill Senku.
Yeah.
Which, again, makes him a great antagonist. Like, he's doing it because he feels like he has to, not because he's some kind of bloodthirsty murderer or something.
Yeah, he's doing it because he also doesn't want to be killed.
That's
He recognizes,
fair,
oh, I'm about to be killed. If I could avoid that, let's do this killing real quick.
Yeah, that would be super duper, not dying.
Well, also, they make, like an accidental explosion, and then they see... This is when they see, like, another, like, smoke signal, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first
like, 3 of
time
them.
we see the potential of, like, other characters besides them is in this episode. But that's how Tsukasa finds them and stuff. And, like, he has to make the decision of, like, putting it out, I think, or, like, trying to connect with these future people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do so much. Like, I feel like every event that happens in each episode, like, you know, it's the collecting the ingredients to make stuff, and that makes you curious about what they're going to make. It moves, like, the main plot forward, and you don't have to wait, like, 9 episodes to see anything happen.
Yeah. That's, you know what, that's a really good point. Like I said earlier, like, I don't know how far we could get in 24 episodes, but, like, considering how tight this pacing is, like, with, you know, another oh god, I can't do math, with another 18 episodes, you could do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, now I'm going to go into where I have mixed feelings about this show, because episodes like 5 and 6 kind of it kind of felt like I was on, like, a roller coaster and I was having a great time and I'm loving it, and then all of a sudden it just stops working and I'm, like, halfway through the loop.
Really?
You know? Yeah, I did not really care for the so episode 5, over half of it is, like, what Senku did from the moment he woke up before he met Taiju.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think that was really necessary to the story. Like, there's a part in, like, episode 6 where he kind of explains, like, he's figuring out how the stonening happened. But like, okay, I get it. Like, I already knew that. Like, I know what's gonna happen in this story. Like, I get it. He's smart. He struggled to get to that point. But, like, I've seen his struggles. You know, I know who he is. I don't feel like it grew his character at all or gave me information that I needed.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And I feel like in the last episode, there's, like, I think this is the first time we get, like, a kid version of him flashback, and you see him doing his you see him doing his, like, little projects and stuff. And I think that does enough to, like, have you understand who he is as a character even more and how he's been that way for, like, forever. And...
Right. Well, and it's good too because it shows he's made, like, Taiju and him have been friends for a long time, and all that stuff. So I felt like that advanced his character. And when there's the recap, like I said earlier, and fucking Tsukasa is in it, it works great. Like the payoff is all there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say that's probably, like, one of the only, like, real redundancies that happens in the series, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, or, like,
that's a good sign.
This season of the series. Yeah, because I could say that episodes 4 and 5, 4 and 5, they do kind of feel like it could have maybe been, like, one episode, potentially.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Anime standards, that rules.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that is a very small price to pay considering how tight everything else has been. Also, counterpoint, I really like the chimpanzee narrators. They were really funny.
Those were good.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, the show has a good job just to having little gags that you don't necessarily expect.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, especially, like, in episode 3 or whatever, or maybe it's 4, where they have the cutaway to the kitchen where he's explaining, and it's, like, a modern kitchen and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, like, Mecha Senku that shows up, and it's like, hey, kids, don't actually do this. You'll fucking kill yourself. I liked all those little bits, you know?
Yeah, a lot of cool little stylistic stuff that happens. Also, in episode 4, the flashback, they show that Senku's dad sold his car to, like, build him a sick-ass, like, bedroom laboratory, and that's so nice.
Okay, but here's the other thing, though. Okay, I'm gonna give him a cinema sin ding real quick. I know, okay, this is fucking pedantic, but fucking hear me out. though he has like CO2 like or like gas canisters in his fucking bedroom, like those things, if you tip them over, will like go off and like knock over. They'll just explode. They'll do all sorts of damage. And I know because, like I said earlier in this episode, I worked in a place that made cannabis oil. Like I worked in like a lab, and like I dealt with those canisters. They're fucking dangerous. Why do you buy so many for your child?
Because his kid's a genius. It's fine.
Yeah, I get it. It's anime, but I was just looking at it like, this is so irresponsible.
Like, if my kid was like a dead ass like boy genius, like, yeah, I'd buy him explosives. He'd do cool stuff with it, and he'd learn how to make it if I didn't anyway. So like, why not?
Oh, I guess that's fair.
Other kids are using like those little CO2 containers to like make whippets and stuff, and he's fucking blowing shit up at the park. That's cool.
Yeah. No, and I did appreciate the heartwarming moment of showing the dad and all that, and like what he did for his kid. And there's a part in episode 6 where the girl who's been like living in this world for apparently a while says something similar to like what his dad said, was like, you can do anything through the proper application of science, I believe. And
did she say that?
That's kind of, I like that little like tidbit of mystery.
Sure, she said that, really?
I don't
I could have
remember
sworn
that.
something like that.
I thought
Maybe I'm
he said it to
misremembering.
her.
I'm like
I
3 or
think
4
he says
beers
it.
in. So.
He says it to her because he
she
makes
thought it was. Oh, you got it.
he makes like a pulley system to like get the tree off of her, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, because she thought his like science stuff was magic. She thought he was a sorcerer.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I missed that part. Thought there was more mystery than there was. Fuck.
Listen, we already have the headphones mystery to worry about. You gotta ration this out for us.
Oh shit.
So
But yeah,
what
so
happens
Senku
next?
dies.
Oh, yeah, he
gets
gets
his neck
yeeted.
snapped.
Super-
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
fucking clapped, one hit, just bap, done.
Yeah. Just right in the neck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the expert fucking strongest primate high schooler. Just
There it is.
right in his neck, dead.
And then Taiju makes an explosion by throwing a boulder, which is sick.
Mhm.
That was good.
Very
Yeah.
very Chris Redfield energy here. And then
Well, okay, there's also a part where, so, like, the explosion goes off, and it, like, burns Tsukasa's clothes, and his clothes are red, and I was like, oh, holy shit, does he have, like, fucking, like, major burns on him? Like, they really fucked this guy up, and then he throws off the shirt, I'm like, oh, okay, no, he's fine, I should have known that.
oh yeah, I thought that too for a second.
But yeah, I like that they had, like, a whole plan and everything. Though, like, not to be that guy, but like I knew that Senku was gonna come back, so I was just like,
oh, of course.
okay,
Mhm.
let's get him back. Let's keep this plot going. I'm tired of these flashbacks. Please, let's just get Senku back.
I like
keep
the
the
flashbacks
story
a
going.
lot. I thought they were great. Like, it's like, for me, it was like a magic show, you know, like, the magician's gonna like get out of the Shark Tank or whatever, but like, how's he gonna do it? You know what I mean? Like, obviously he knows he's gonna like get his neck snapped and has like some sort of countermeasure, but like, are they gonna come up with a way that feels satisfying, or like is he just gonna come back to life? He's like, well, actually, last night I figured out how to develop extra lives like a video game, and then like,
And I was fine with the way he came back. It was just all the stuff about like how he like built up his whole life and everything,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
before Taiju showed up. It's like that to me is like, it's like, to use the magician allegory or metaphor or whatever, it's like a magician after he's like recording like, hey, I just got out of this Shark Tank, you're not gonna believe all the stuff that happened in there. And I'm like, well, I already know you got out of the Shark Tank, so fuck off. Like, I don't need to watch the rest.
That's fair. I thought it was neat. Plus, chimpanzees were cool, so all in all, worth
Those
my
did
time.
help.
Plus, it like explained how Taiju showed up in that cave. We didn't know that before, because he wasn't in a cave, and all of a sudden he was in a cave, like right under the batshit droplets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
convenient.
I didn't even think about it like when it happened, but when he moved him in there, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a good touch. Okay.
Wait, we're on episode 5 now, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
We're around
5, 6, whatever.
We're in that area. So Senku dies, and then he in episode 3 they plant the seed that when you put the human juice on a statue and it like comes back, any injuries that were under the stone.
Juice.
I'm stuck on that one too.
I meant it like as in like it's juice that makes people back as statues into humans, but
Okay.
I understand that the connotation of that name is not exactly clear. So when they put the batshit juice on a statue,
Much better.
and it like brings them back, like any damage that was under the stone like gets healed. So he has a little bit of stone on the back of his neck, conveniently where what's his name snaps it. And then they put the batshit juice on him, and he's like, "Oh, fixed, perfect." I still do not know how I feel about that. Like, I guess it was better than just him having invented a way to survive death the previous night, but also like, if that was his plan, you think he would? You don't think he would have like told them like, "Hey, when he snaps my neck, do this"?
Yeah, I was okay with it though, because it was like they set it up. You know, if it was out of nowhere, right? If that was the first instance of putting the water on the thing, and it's like, oh, it has rejuvenative properties or whatever, I'd be upset. But I think that was like, because it was set up, I was okay with it.
Oh yeah. Like, I'm not saying it's like a plot hole or anything like that. I'm just like,
right, yeah.
It
didn't. I guess for me, like, it didn't feel weak or like forced or just like, all right, yeah, sure, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like the whole like standoff, like it runs for like a fair amount of time. And so you get like a pretty good understanding that he's like manipulating it to go the way he wants it to.
You know what? That's a good point.
And like, I think he couldn't tell anybody because Tsukasa's observant. You know, like they have to like really believe that he's dead. And, like,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm warming up to this now.
Yeah, they talk for like a fair amount of time before anything happens, and you can tell he's manipulating it to the way he wants to go by like saying like, you know, how they would be friends otherwise, and how like he deserves like this, you know, like non-violent death, you know, and then Tsukasa's like, yeah, you're right, like maybe I shouldn't punch you and have you explode.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I think he's like figuring, he like understands Tsukasa's like mentality, how he's like weirdly empathetic but also kind of barbaric.
Yeah
because like, you know, he's gonna kill him, like he's not gonna like pull back on the unspeakable brutality, but he's gonna he's
already activated it, there's no ending it.
Yeah, but he's gonna be oddly empathetic about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, he's not a mindless killer. Like, Senku knows, like, because he holds what's her name, Yuzuriha.
Yeah.
Holds her hostage, and it's like, it's one of those things where it's also like, you can tell that he doesn't want to kill her. He needs to deal with Senku, and Senku knows that like, Tsukasa is gonna be on, like, he's gonna honor, like, if I tell you what you want to know, you will let go of her. Like, he knows that Tsukasa is gonna do that. So, again, great antagonist. While we're talking about Tsukasa, I do want to bring up, though, I feel like, so he brings up these ideals of like, they're gonna want to bring back the old world, you know, with rent and land and private property and stuff like that,
loot boxes and paid parking,
loot boxes, and just, you know, all the bad RPG elements of 2K. So I feel like he's a really like in-depth character, and I feel like in the like episodes 5 and 6, he kind of gets reduced to like, well, he's gonna actually just be a warlord. You know, his idea is he just wants to rule over people. Like, when he gets into a fight with somebody who's been living there, he's like, I could easily rule over them. And I'm like, you didn't strike me as a guy who wanted to be like rule over people. Like, you're extreme, but I don't know. Yeah. I didn't much care for that.
Maybe he sees it as like a means to an end. Like, he has to like achieve this by like whatever is like necessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't know yet. We just don't have enough information.
I think,
Yeah.
like, I don't think anything that we've seen of Tsukasa previous to this, like, indicates otherwise. Like, Senku even says it, like, in his head in, like, episode 2 or whatever. He says, like, oh, yeah, well, in this world that Tsukasa, like, proposes, like, obviously he'd be the king of it because he's the strongest motherfucker alive and there's no guns. So, like, yeah. Don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but I felt like that was really kind of like reducing like his ideas and like his character down to just like, oh, he just wants power. Whereas like that's not what the vibe I quite got from him before. Now, and I mean, and maybe they were just kind of saying it to set up the stakes in those episodes, but I just felt like it was like you have this really great antagonist because of how like gray he is, and they're kind of making it like, oh no, he's actually just bad.
Well, I think it's, I mean, like what Senku said, like where they're at, like technologically, this is his like best chance at the grab, you know? So like he like needs to take it now because like as Senku develops more like technology and shit, the playing field gets like way more even to the point where it's actually like he falls below. So like I think that could be like a fair motivation. Like this is his window and like that's it.
Yeah, like it's his moment. And I think like, I mean, the nature of what he's trying to do, like, he's quite literally trying to establish a new world order. I think that in itself is, like, in its own way, like, a thirst for power. And even if his objectives were entirely altruistic, like, on their face, like, you know, he says, well, I want to establish a world without property, without, like, war, without those things. It's like, well, in order to do that, like, you know, to continue the Death Note analogies, like, you know, same as like White Yagami saying, I'm going to murder all of these prisoners or inmates because I want to establish a world with no crime. And then later on, he's like, yeah, because I'm fucking God. Like, one kind of can't come without the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally. And that's fair because he does kill a lot of people.
He does. Whole bunch.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's more, it's not that I feel like they ruined his character. I'm just worried that that he could potentially get more reduced as like as from like going from like a just really interesting and rich antagonist, like maybe one of my favorite antagonists I've seen in a while, to like just like, oh no, I'm just gonna rule, I'm just gonna, you know, do the thing that I initially thought he was gonna do, where it's like, I'm strong, so I'm the ruler, and that's how the world should work.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think even by the end of the season, like, you still don't really know. And I'm curious to like see how the like the way this series like pans out. Is it gonna be like Senku Tsukasa the whole time, or is this the Saiyan arc and then they're gonna go to Namek? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering too. Like, is he gonna be like the main antagonist throughout? Like, because I think I watched past the credits on episode 6 because like the credits are rolling while stuff is still happening, and it says like next time on Dr. Stones, it says something like the big birth of two countries or something. Like it sounds like Tsukasa's gonna, you know, at least try to take it all the way and like build his own civilization in so many words to like match Senku's. So that's the direction I think, but like I don't know.
My initial instinct was like, I mean, Senku's going to surpass him, and that'll be it. It'll be like, you know, the first of however many arcs. They'll get rid of him. Right. Something will show up. But then I was also thinking, like, Senku can't be the only person who's good at science. You know, like, Tsukasa could find, like, another science person, and that could keep it continuing if it's going to be, like, these two pillars, you know, like a light and else, like, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, you could appreciate it, or, like, not appreciate it. You could also see it going, like, okay, maybe they fight for a while, and then maybe there's another antagonist that shows up. You know, whoever caused the stoning, right? Like they're like, actually, I'm gonna rule the world. You know, I've been in this chamber for 3,700 years. I've been waiting for people to start waking up, so that I can rule over them. And I'm actually the super bad guy. And then maybe you have Tsukasa and Senku team up. You know, you see like the merging of their ideas.
Super Dragon Ball Z. That's like so Dragon Ball.
Yeah, every villain becomes a hero eventually.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like Trigger stuff where it's like, oh, they're rivals. Actually, now they're friends. You know?
Yeah, like Lord Genome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like in Kill la Kill with like everybody. So.
Oh yeah, with Satsuki. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Okay, good point. Yeah, that was my thing. Is like Senku says like very point blank that his objective is to resurrect every human possible. And I'm like, well, okay, eventually you're going to come across somebody who's going to be like, oh, great, now I get to usher in a great new era for the Aryan race or something. And like, what, you got to just put that guy down? Like, what do we do then? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like eventually you're just gonna. There are comically evil people in the real world, probably the same in more so in anime. So like eventually you're gonna have to find one person who's like, well, I guess we just got to snap this dude's neck or something before he gets out of the rest of his statue shell because he's already saying eugenics shit. We can't have this.
You think Donald Trump's gonna be in this?
Oh God, maybe.
You know how they did the Death Note manga and Donald Trump's in it, and Donald Trump gets the Death Note? Do you know about that?
I do, yeah.
What if?
Oh God, that would be the third anime that Donald Trump shows up in because he shows up in Baki the Grappler. Yeah, he's in Baki the Grappler
fucking
too.
Way.
He's not in fucking Baki.
He is in Baki. Well, okay. He President Tramp is in Baki the Grappler with an A. There's an obvious Barack Obama knockoff in there as well.
Wow.
Yeah, Donald Trump comes face to face with as I recall,
Baki.
he comes face. Not Baki, Baki's father, Yujiro.
Okay.
A different Hanma. And he's so like terrified by Yujiro's just raw power that he like wets himself and then pledges eternal fealty to him. And then something else happens. He's like, I don't want to be president, so keep it.
Does he get yeeted? He doesn't yeet him?
Nah, he doesn't yeet him. He's just like,
see, Baki would have yeeted him.
Baki would have. That's why Baki's got to beat his father.
So he can yeet Donald Trump.
So he can then yeet Donald Trump, yeah.
Wow.
COVID failed, but Baki won't.
Wait, that's crazy, though. So many people get yeeted in Baki, and Donald Trump doesn't.
Right?
That's like the most yeeted. Yeah, like it's that and Fist of the North Star or Berserk. Top 3 most yeeting animes.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump doesn't get yeeted?
Yeah. That's kind of fucked up now that you say it like that. So many people get murked for so less.
Whack.
And that dude gets away with just pissing his pants.
I got real Fist of the North Star vibes from the strongest high school, strongest primate high schooler. Like he comes out of stone and he just starts beating the shit out of everything. Like I was into it. I was feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Similar vibes to when Kenshiro like literally just walks through a building. Not walks through a building as in like enters the door and then exits a different door. Like walks through a
just
building.
Literally. Oh,
It's
God,
just
I
like
love that
stone and
movie.
shit falling off his hair.
Yep. But I wanted to bring up. I think that's why I like Tsukasa so much is like we're talking about there. Like, okay, what happens if you come across Stone Donald Trump? Like, are you really gonna revive that guy? Like, while you're reviving everybody, like, or like so many other like shitty politicians, it's like that's like, again, I don't agree with his methods, but you can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I want to know what happens if they try to revive someone who like has like a missing limb or something.
That's a
Do you
good
think
question.
Didn't they talk about it a bit? Because they were like, didn't he try to bring people back and they just came back? He's like, they just came back as a corpse.
Maybe.
He does say that, but like, if say they're perfectly intact except like their hand is missing, you know what I mean? Like I think they'd still be alive. They certainly didn't bleed to death.
I don't really remember it, but there is a part around episode 4 or 5 where he's like, they're talking about the regenerative efforts or abilities of the batshit juice, and
Thank you.
the girl, she's like, what if we just put her arms on? Like we can make it work, right? And he's like, nah, it doesn't work. They just came back as corpses.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's a change down the line. Maybe he realizes he's wrong. He's like, oh, if we just change the formula a little bit, now we can bring back everybody as long as we find all their parts.
Oh, maybe.
Well, I just asked because like if they came back, like I would definitely bring back Donald Trump with like no limbs.
Well, you gotta figure
really
like
funny.
if somebody's missing their arm, they would come back and then just immediately start like just blood shooting out of their arm.
Good
Maybe,
question.
but doesn't it heals stuff though, right? Just being in the stone.
It does.
Oh yeah, so there
That's
wouldn't
a good
be any
point.
cut. It'd just be like
They just
clean.
have nubs,
Yeah, fuck. That would be really funny.
right? That'd
So
rule.
I'm into that. Yeah. It's like,
keep him in a
well,
cage somewhere.
you're back, but we have terrible news for you.
But yeah, so what happens in the 6th episode? I don't really remember too much about this one except for like they meet the girl. She's incredible.
That's the big thing.
She's chic. She's an incredible fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Tree. Something happens with a tree. They get her out of the tree.
Yeah.
You're remembering the exciting parts. The first half is him figuring out, it's more flashback and it's more like, how does the stone work? And it gets into it a little bit, like it gets all science-y for a second. But the first half of the episode is Senku like trying to figure out how the stoning happened and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get into like, yeah, there's people from this civilization. There's the girl in the blue tunic, and she fights Tsukasa and almost gets killed, but he puts a tree on her, but in a way that doesn't kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
They also suggest that she is the child of someone who woke up much before everybody else. So it's possible like other small human tribes or whatever have been around for centuries, maybe? Who knows?
Yeah.
Because she's like baffled by the pulleys.
Yeah.
Right.
And she thinks there's like a volcano god or something. It's like you used your sorcery to call upon the volcano god's magic or something.
There was that, and there was also that Tsukasa was like, she shouldn't be this good at martial arts. Like this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
she does a really cool backflip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's a good fighter. I mean, it sucks that she had to fight like the
strongest primate high schooler.
Thank you. We've said it only a couple times, so that's why I'm struggling to remember it. So yeah, it sucks that she had to fight him,
Have I not said it yet? Have I not said the strongest primate high schooler? This is my first time.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, hey.
Let's take a little break. 1 sec.
I definitely just
putting it up on. You're adding to the numbers. You're putting it up on the board.
Put them up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this episode 6. I think it. While I don't like the flashback parts, I think I've mentioned that once or twice. I did really, I liked where the story is going, and I liked the mystery. I really liked that the two, like Taiju and Senku, they have to go their separate ways.
Okay.
Like, I need you to go infiltrate Tsukasa's, empire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go do my own thing since he thinks that I'm dead. And I expected them to just hang out forever. And I like, that's, again, another thing I wasn't expecting that I think is really cool.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if this had happened yet by like episode 6, because otherwise I was like, man, I wish you guys would have gotten to that part, because it's really significant, and I didn't expect it either.
You don't often see them break up the group like that. Like, it's a bold move for a lot of like shonen type anime. But it's cool, and that's I think that's shortly before Senku meets the I mean, she's not a cave woman, but the whatever her name is, the blonde one.
The person who's been living there for however long.
Yeah. I had this thought because he makes the pulley and gets the tree off of her, and she's like, it would seem I've taken quite a liking to you, like instantly, like he's known her for a few hours at this point, and it just reminded me of like, okay, how much Family Matters have you guys watched?
None.
Yeah, very, very little.
Okay, just me. I've watched that whole show. Ever since, I've watched all of Family Matters. It's one of my favorite animes.
So the thing about Family Matters is like, I thought by like one of the prerequisites for watching that is you have to have a white dad, and I've seen your dad, Mark.
No, there's a loophole. White mom, you see.
Wow.
Okay. Well, because I was about to say I had a white dad. This didn't work out.
Well, in it, Urkel gets a girlfriend in one of the later seasons. Her name's Moira, and like similar to how Urkel has been chasing Laura around the whole time, Moira is chasing Urkel around because she thinks he's really, really smart, as he is. And and she's also really smart, and she wants them to be like a super brainy power couple, and eventually they do. And like as soon as that happened, like what's her name, like super strong fighter chick with the blonde hair sees him, and she's like, I like you. And like this is a really dumb reason now that I say it out loud, but like now I can't get that equivalence of like Senku and Urkel out of my head.
Oh no!
I'm also just a big Jaleel White fan because Sonic, so he's voiced Sonic 5 times.
What?
Oh my god.
Jaleel,
Wow,
okay.
I had no idea.
Jaleel White
really?
voices Sonic in The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Saturday Morning. He voices Sonic and his brother and sister in Sonic Underground. And then he also voiced him in 2 fan creations. There was a full feature-length movie, and there was like a webtoon kind of, not webtoon, not like a comic, but some kind of fan animation.
Wow.
I've seen that fan live action movie.
It was great, wasn't it?
It was something.
Yeah.
Yep.
They pulled from the Sonic Bible with Kinsobor.
Oh, they did,
Yeah,
didn't
the deep
they?
cut. Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Fuck, this is a Sonic podcast.
It sure is. Brought it back.
Well, okay, let's start to wrap things up because we're going a little long. And
I just
gotta
showed
pee
my
super
whole
bad.
ass. I didn't need to do that.
Okay, so we'll go around the fictional table here. I imagine I know everybody's votes. Bakari, we got our rating system. Bakari and John, we got our rating system. Total garbage, and keep watching. Bakari, where do you fall?
I'm gonna keep watching. I think if we had to wait another half hour or two before starting recording today, that's probably what I would have been doing, is watching more episodes. I think it's great.
There we go. And it sounds like you've watched most of it, but John, what's your rating of the show?
Yeah, I watched all of it. Crunchyroll put out like a little special recently, and I watched that too.
Oh.
I'm super thrilled for the next season. I think like in the last year, it's one of my favorites. Like this and Mob Psycho 100, I think are like the 2 series I liked the most this year. So
Mob Psycho. Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
did Mob Season 2
Chef's
come out
kiss.
this year?
no, but I didn't watch them until this year.
Oh, okay. Right,
Yeah.
because Dr. Stone came out last year too. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
No, and just as a side note, Mob Psycho, especially season 2, I think it may have become my favorite anime of all time. Like that was such a fucking incredible season.
It's so good.
So good. But okay, so I'll I was a little hesitant on when I was thinking about my rating before we started recording. I was like, I felt like it was good, but those last couple episodes with the flashbacks really dragged me down. But I'm glad we chatted. I'm glad we talked. I'm gonna keep watching, and that's my review after talking with you guys. I think this show's really good, and
yeah.
I'm even with my misgivings I want to keep watching now.
Yeah, and then just going forward, like one thing that usually when shonen animes do like the split up thing, it sucks. It sucks ass.
Oh yeah.
But
Yep.
this is like one of the few times where I feel like the split like really works, because like if you look at other animes, they try to then split up the time between like multiple little stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In this one, you really only see what Senku's up to for like just the rest of
Oh.
the season. And
Okay.
so like he has like an actual character arc in this season. He like actually changes, and like all of the characters kind of do that you meet from here on out. And yeah, it's really enjoyable, and it's super pleasant actually, even though like the stakes get like pretty high.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it feels good. And just the stuff, like the inventions are like really interesting. And because I mean, you get some of that in these like first 6 episodes, but where it goes from there is like incredible.
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah!
I'm sold.
I'm sold after talking with you guys, because yeah, I had my issues, but I don't feel as strong after talking with you guys. So yeah, I'm on board. I think Dr. Stone is, again, I watched that first episode and I was like, I don't want to watch this show. This seems bad. I'm sold. It's really good.
John, I think you should check out Log Horizon at some point. I think you might get a kick out of that. So
Well, I mean, if it's a restaurant empire and Guy Fieri's not in it, I don't care.
that's a small arc, all things considered, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
there is no video game Guy Fieri, which is a failing on the show's part, I will admit.
That's just a failing on us as humans.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think Guy Fieri's been in a single anime. Like, what the fuck? They had a shot of
There's
Italy in this show, and they didn't even fucking show it.
So before we get away from things, I got to tell you about my new favorite anime, guys.
Oh, yeah?
Guy Fieri's Grocery Games. So
Grocery
good.
Games?
I think it's on Hulu. You guys got to check it out. Use your friend's Hulu accounts and watch Guy Fieri's Grocery Games. Oh, that was a lot of G's.
Yeah, I gotta get Tyler to sign back into Hulu on my new phone. He doesn't give me the password, but he does like sign in on my phone, so I'll get him to do that.
There you go. Well, okay, this is a good podcast. This was a good discussion on anime. I'm feeling real satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so next episode, Bakari, do you want to do the Chainsaw Man episode?
Oh yeah, is next episode Chainsaw Man?
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then next episode we're gonna talk about Chainsaw Man, the manga, because there isn't an anime yet. So we're kind of changing things up. If you, the viewer, want to be a part of that conversation, read everything, because we're going to talk about the entire show. Or the entire manga.
Yeah, it's only like 100 chapters and some change. It's fine.
Yeah, you can get through, and it's, I mean, not to get ahead of things, but I fucking love it. So,
John, have you read Chainsaw Man?
No, I don't read.
That's fair. This like Chainsaw Man like got me back into reading things, and it's great.
Yeah, John, I'll give you my password to my Shonen Jump account if you want to read it. It's great.
Maybe that sounds pretty good. Is Berserk on there? I need to read Berserk.
I don't think it is. I think you got to go through the.
I think that's if I'm gonna read.
Channels.
I gotta read that first.
That's a big undertaking. There's a lot of Berserk out there.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I'm just getting into it for the first time, and I watched the first 2 movies on Netflix. And they're like pretty good, but apparently the third one is when a bunch of fucked up shit happens. So
yeah,
I don't know if I'm looking forward to it, or maybe I am. I don't know.
I haven't seen. I specifically haven't seen the fucked up shit that happens in the third movie because like I watched the 3 of them with my friend and I fell asleep like right before the fucked up shit starts happening. So for me it was a very pleasant time. But I did watch the 90s anime. Where the fucked up shit does happen, and that was pretty gruesome.
Yikes. Yeah, it definitely, like, the first movie I felt like I could watch, like, in the living room with other people around. The second movie, I quickly realized I cannot. And apparently the third movie I should play, like, when the entire house is empty and, like, put it on headphones so no sound escapes. Maybe put, like, a blanket over the TV and just be, like, right up on it so no one knows what I'm watching. Or
build yourself a little fort, yeah.
I really have no idea what's coming, but...
Damn, I didn't know there was that level of fucked up shit in Berserk.
It's a lot. Berserk gets pretty dark.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It is a pretty gritty anime or manga too. So
that comes out real slow though. Like the problem with reading Berserk is eventually you're gonna get caught up and then have to deal with the fact that Miura puts out like 2 chapters a year.
Yeah,
no. That's the real fucked up shit.
Well, the real problem is fucking Guts and Griffith don't fuck.
That is a problem.
That's the real problem. Like the whole first movie, I was like, this is the cutest couple to ever exist. Like bar none, bar any gender, any orientation. Gus and Griffith, wow.
Yeah.
And then they don't do it. I really thought it was part of the thing. I was like, oh, they're gonna fuck.
You really think they're like, friends quotation marks, but they're just friends, not quotations, they're just buds, they're just bros.
Because I went into it not knowing anything about it, and I was like, damn, it's going down.
Yeah, Griffith's he's just pretty. He's a pretty guy. It's nice to look at. His hair's all pillowy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let's do plugs. I'm fucking about to burst here, guys. So bad. All right, so let's do plugs. John, how can people stalk you?
Twitter at gothbitchjohn, Instagram at filmpoppy. That's it.
Hell yeah. Bakari, what do you got out there?
There's no point in following my Instagram because I haven't posted since last year. But you can follow my Twitter where I retweet Sonic related things at Bakfu, BAKFUU.
And you can follow me. I try to keep my Instagram and Twitter life separate. Follow me on Twitter. I'm Hentai Pizza Lord. Guys, this was a good episode.
Yeah.
I really had a great time.
Nice.
Same.
And John, thanks for joining us for another episode.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, whenever you want. If I don't have to read.
Well, okay.
So maybe not the next one, but
I'm
another,
sure you'll be on soon.
Yeah, in another month and some change, when we actually figure out what the fuck we're gonna watch next, we will let you know.
Down.
We get our
Hell yeah.
biannual episode out. Yeah, you'll be there.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I don't know how to sign off. We don't have a good sign off. We got intros. I don't know how we sign off this show.
I don't know. At this point, the music's probably fading in, so like we can just kind of.
That's probably for the best.
We can just kind of talk, and then it'll like we'll fade out. The music will come in, and we're just
Yeah. Well, since the music is coming in and everything, I'm gonna go fucking pee. I'll be back. Oh my fucking god! All right, I'm ending my recording.
Perfect. Same.
Oh wait, this is it. Peace, one love.